Hey everybody, and welcome to our first podcast for Chain Reaction. I'm Daniella Goodwin.
And I'm Dave Stubberfield. So welcome along, everyone. Daniella, wow, first podcast.
Yeah,
Slightly surreal, isn't it?
it is, definitely.
Okay. So Daniella, do you want to tell everyone who you are and what you do?
Yeah, of course. So ultimately, I am a go-to-market specialist, helping startups and scale-ups within tech, SaaS, freight and logistics. Been doing it about 17 years now, my gosh. And I'm basically connecting all the right technology, people, and strategies together. That's ultimately me in a nutshell. I'm a very big advocate for women in tech, women in logistics, and yeah, I absolutely love curry, love a bit of wine, and I'm a super networker. So I love going to events, meeting new people. What about you, Dave?
So for me, I'm a business transformation and cultural transformation, I guess, specialist. So I work with organisations to help their processes, their people, change the dial on the culture, to make change happen. We use different methodologies such as continuous improvement and customer experience to help make that change happen. It's about putting people first, giving them the tools and techniques to make change happen, so that people in the business see the difference, but also so do the customers as a result.
Yeah,
Everybody wins at that point. So the business wins because they become more productive and more efficient. So yeah, I
yeah,
think there's a lot of synergies in what we do there, which is why we're sitting here doing this, isn't it?
yeah,
Um,
exactly. I was literally just
personal
about
bit.
to say that.
So personal bit for me is I love curry as well. I gave my little boy a curry for the first time last week. He absolutely loved it.
Love it.
So that's a good start. And I've got two more on the way. So I've got twins due in about 5 weeks. So it's very exciting and very scary as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And so you're running Carter Consultancy, aren't you? I run Synergize Consultancy, and you're right. There are so many different synergies. I think that you and me both go, and that's why we've set up um, Chain Reaction. Ultimately, isn't it?
It is, and I think that to use your word, there's the synergize and the synergies between us. They're massive. It's how people use tech and embrace it, and it's how you get the talent in to do the job. And I think that's where we come together so well. So yeah, that kind of chain reaction. I think the message when we came up with the name was everything links together.
Yeah,
So I think that having those different links and making sure that one chain isn't broken, everything fits together and works end to end, I think is the why we're here really.
yeah, no, definitely. And I think also to add to that, I think it came from sort of endless conversations, like I just said. Like I'm always going to events, I am, and I think it's just having those raw conversations that we're having with founders, we're having with operations, we're having with the sales guys, and even the CFOs as well, right? Because they obviously control the purse strings. And I think having really good critical, they've got pain points, and we're having these raw conversations where we can genuinely help them. It massively helps everybody. So if we can do that today on the podcast, if we can get it through LinkedIn, whatever, I think building this, it will certainly support and help a lot of people.
Yeah, I think for me as well, it's telling stories, the power of storytelling that helps people really envision real life scenarios and how ultimately it impacts the customer. So yeah, that'd be really powerful, I think, as we move forward and hopefully get some guests along. That'd be even better, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm sure we've got a few up our sleeve, definitely.
I'm sure we have. So Danielle, a question to you:
Yeah.
why now? Why is this podcast happening now?
Um, I've had a lot go on personally, like with work. I got made redundant in January, completely off piece, didn't know about it. And I previously ran my own business. And I thought, you know what? I didn't obviously envision this, being made redundant. And I think, the time is now. And actually what I did was it was fight or flight. And I thought, let's go and jump back into my own business. I'm my own boss. I've got the time, the freedom, And also I've got, in 17 years, you gain a lot of knowledge and expertise. And I had a lot of that with, I was a big headhunter. I was a manager of recruitment companies. Then I went down the strategic route. Then I went into SaaS sales. I've encompassed a hell of a lot, but I've always kept with the logistics side, the tech, and speaking to those investors. So I was like, right, that's what I'm doing. So why now is because, yeah, set up Synergize. I've reconnected like over the last 3-4 months with all of my connections and really found that, actually you and me can help each other. And this is how we've met, right? Just by talking to other people like Barry. That's how we met, Barry Flatty. And yeah, the time is now because there are so many pain points in the world, and logistics, it still is probably about 10 years behind, with the tech and everything. And I think it's really hard to find really good salespeople, and to retain them as well. So the time is now, basically.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think there's an opportunity for us to talk about the stuff that you probably don't see on LinkedIn. I
Yeah,
think LinkedIn's kind of success stories, and this is what we've done and achieved,
yeah,
which is great. But you've just mentioned the words, pain points. They're the bits really that people struggle with, and if we can help people relate to that, I think that's a massive gap that we can fill and help people, both technology and people. I think retaining talent is massively important, and that, from my perspective, that helps you on the way to retaining customers as well. So yeah,
massive.
everything stitches together. So I think it's a movement rather than a podcast, isn't it?
Yeah, and yeah, exactly, because we're all going on this journey together, but we're helping people along the way. And at each stop, if you think of it as a train station, each stop, we're helping people, we're supporting people, we're connecting with new people, old people, and building those networks and helping get over these pain points together. So yeah, absolutely.
And this is the start of that journey, isn't it? The podcast is just one piece of the puzzle. We're going to be putting on events, connecting people,
Yeah,
getting people to really spark ideas and be innovative with each other, aren't we?
yeah, exactly. I mean, literally in the next month, I think in June, I'm away 8 days, going to different events. We've got London Tech Week coming up, we've got multimodal, and I think it's all about meeting those new connections, empowering people about what we can do and what we do, and also finding out, what they're doing, what the future looks like for everyone ultimately. So yeah, events is a really big thing for us. So this isn't just a podcast, definitely. I think we want to get people to events, we want to connect the right people, and yeah, it is a chain reaction ultimately.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, I love that. And I wish I could be there for some of those events, but that's when the twins are due. So it's kind of, I don't want
Yeah.
to go and commit to anything and, yeah, be banging trouble.
No,
No, that's yeah. I think you're going to be doing the work for us there, aren't you?
I will try my very best. Yes. Last year at Multimodal, I went on just walking up and down the stands, and this is related, by the way, but there was a suitcase, and it was on wheels, and it was like a movable suitcase. It was crazy, and just people were like, "What are you doing?" And they were for sale and everything, but it's just a laugh. You connect with so many different people that you might not have if you were doing that sort of thing. So I'll hold the fort. Don't worry.
Good stuff. So the title of this pilot episode is Life Logistics and Lattes. And I think
Hmm.
we've kind of gone into that a little bit by trying to make it relatable for people, bringing life into the mix as well. Um, LinkedIn's very professional, but I think that kind of people do have struggles at home as well, which do come into the day to day of work as well.
Yeah.
Lattes was just kind of a bit of alliteration. I don't know about you, Daniela, but I'm a tea man all day long. I mean, I've got my cup of tea right here. That's all I'd be drinking.
Yeah.
Um,
Green tea girl over here. Do like a
okay,
coffee, but yeah, green tea all the way.
okay, interesting. It's funny. A cup of tea is my go-to analogy for organisations as well. Um, for example, me and you would probably make a cup of tea entirely different.
Yeah.
Might not be massively different, but there's going to be nuances. Some people put the milk in first. Don't know if you do that, Daniela, do you?
I don't have milk in my green tea.
Okay, what about normal tea? Or don't drink normal tea?
Don't drink normal tea. No.
Okay, interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
but So yeah, workshops, people sort of say, oh yeah, I'll put the milk in first, and some people, wow. So yeah, everyone does things slightly different. So from my
Yeah,
perspective, it's how do you create that consistency? So yeah, we think life, logistics, and lattes for a title is probably a good way to set the scene and set the tone.
100%. Love it.
Cool. So chain reaction. We've spoken about what we're going to be doing, podcast, events, connecting people. What's the vision? Where do you see chain reaction going in the future?
I think for me, it's we all have, such a big network, and it spans, with Barry as well. So Barry Flaherty has obviously got his own business as well, consulting, and he's joined us, hasn't he, on this? But we're doing the podcast, and I think we all have such a big network, and we all do things differently, but we're all trying to get the same result, and that is to basically, look at companies' pain points, bring people together. For me, it's a big one of, empowering women, trying to get them, from ground up, into logistics companies, because there's such a gap within that. And, I think running the events, doing the podcast, and really getting something where, people are going to follow us, they follow our journey, but ultimately turn it into, a business where people go, oh yeah, that's where they do a number of different things, like turn it into a sort of management consultancy, if you like, but with all the social media aspects and the events. And I think a few of our events are definitely going to be very niche and elite, I would say. So yeah, I think we need to tell everyone, watch this space, because it's very, very different to what most people are doing from an event point of view. And I think that's
Yeah.
really exciting and truly valuable to decision makers. So yeah, definitely watch this space.
Yeah, I think to add to that, the word that's missing there for me is community. I think that
Yeah.
community of people, like-minded people, the thinkers, the doers, the people that make change happen, make
Hmm.
decisions as well. So yeah, you've kind of alluded to it there, Daniela. So our event, if I'm right, is the 18th of September in London.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Thursday.
all venue
Yeah.
to be confirmed and stuff, but we're planning on putting quite a special occasion, aren't we? Really?
Yeah. I think for our first event, I mean, I've ran lots of events. I know you have as well. But I think again, us doing it as chain reaction, we want those like-minded decision makers, but people who actually have real critical problems to solve, and bring those people who can solve them along with what we can do to help. And yeah, make it not a huge big expo, nothing like that, but something that's really niche, valuable, that everyone's going to take away something, and someone as well, right? Because you never know who you're going to bump into. So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's really, really crucial and needed, because I don't know anyone that does consistent logistics events either.
Yeah, I think again, chain reaction being linking everyone together. It's not
Yeah.
just one portion of logistics. It's start to end, bringing those different people together that might just see a brand or a name and don't necessarily know what that business or organisation does before they start to. Oh, okay, they do this, and that can really help us to deliver
Yeah.
something else further down the line. So I think that's the kind of thing we're looking for, is to really, like you say, connect people together and help
Yeah.
execute a lot of ideas.
That's it. And to add to that, I think it's, you know, so the audience knows, I think it's more, yes, we're saying sort of, logistics, but that's exactly what we mean by like that chain reaction. It really is that whole supply chain. So, it will be decision makers from retailers, from freight forwarders, from the, supply chain. It will be from the tech companies. It will really be that whole ecosystem of the supply chain of people there, not just a bunch of freight forwarders in a room, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, great. No, I'm really looking forward to that. It's
Yeah.
scary to think that the twins will be what, 3 months old at that point,
Oh
four
my
months old.
gosh,
So
yeah.
yeah, oh, that's scary. Okay, so we've gone through the why we're here. So let's do a bit of rapid fire questions for the listeners to get to know us a bit better and to get to know each other a bit better as well. So I'm going to kick one off.
Okay.
You mentioned curry. Favorite curry?
Oh, king prawn curry.
Oh, what a shout! Ooh. I would have to go for chicken jalfrezi. Um,
Nice.
it's very difficult finding a good one where I am. I've tried
And
lots
you're at
around me.
Essex, right?
I am Essex, yes.
Yeah.
So any Indians in Essex want to hit me up with a chicken jalfrezi, that'd be great. I'd love to try it. Um, I'm partial to a madras as well. That's
Nice. Like a bit of
yeah,
spice then, yeah. So,
I do.
well,
Yeah,
Bristol, obviously, where I am, there are probably nearly thousands of Indian restaurants. But honestly, I have my own Instagram where I review curries, and yes, I am very much. I'll try anything. I don't like super hot though, so I will try anything. But there are definitely some really, really good Indian restaurants around
okay.
here that I love. So,
So when we take the podcast on tour, we'll have to do a stop at Bristol then and have a curry.
oh, absolutely, yeah, definitely.
Wicked. Okay. Next question. One piece of tech that you can't live without right now.
Automation.
Ooh,
It
okay.
has, yeah. I know it's a biggie. I know it's a biggie, but and I didn't say AI. No, I love that as well. But automation for me, I run my own consultancy like you do. From the recruitment side, I have two girls that work for me, and I think me being out at these events, as you know, and doing the podcast and stuff, it's a lot of time and there's a lot of admin. And if you can get one piece of tech, I find that I'm a bit of a workaholic. It doesn't matter to me if I do, a few hours in the evening or I'm on my phone or whatever. Literally, you've got Wi-Fi, you've got a phone, you can work, right? So I normally sort of create all my lists and my BD and my LinkedIn posts and everything like that. Just organize myself. I think that's a key thing. But make sure that all that is automated throughout the weeks. When I am away, it gives you that freedom and time back, to enjoy your family and friends and eat curry and wine, etc. So for me, my automation platform
Mm.
is a godsend.
Yeah. Do you know what? Automation, I think a lot of people love it. And in my world, people don't document their processes first. They just automate stuff. And
Mhm.
it's not efficient to start with. And it just becomes inefficiencies on inefficiencies. But to hear that
Yeah,
you're organized first and foremost and then you automate, that's music to my ears. So I love that.
yeah,
For me, I think it has to be AI. Is the one thing I can't live without right now. That technology just blows my mind daily. The trend at the minute of babies doing podcasts and stuff like that. Maybe we need to convert ourselves into babies and just to jump on the bandwagon. But I think for me, that's the thing that is just it's on a massive trajectory. The limits, I've got no idea. I'm not too close to understand it entirely, but the
yeah,
things it can do for me, it's amazing. Whether
yeah,
that's generative AI or helping me just to form stuff to give me a head start. I can go brilliant. There's the idea and the basis to build upon. Whether that's prepping a workshop or writing a report or even an article or a LinkedIn post. Sometimes I'm
yeah,
sitting there going, "What should I write about today?" And I just have a conversation with it, and bang,
yeah.
there's the idea. And then I'll go and form that on my own.
Yeah. And I think there's the key bit. So you said about me with the automation being organized. And I think with the AI, you have to be able to prompt it correctly. You have to be able to know how to use this. And I think that's why we're doing this, right? Because I think people go, yeah, I'll jump on ChatGPT and say, write me an article for LinkedIn about pets or whatever. It could be anything. But actually, if you're not prompting it correctly, you're really not asking it the right things and challenging it back and tweaking it, then it won't be coming from like the likes of yourself. Do you know what I mean? So, clone
Yeah.
yourself first, use it like that. But absolutely, I 100% agree. I mean, I use it daily as well. Um, but I think using it in the right way, um, it is an absolute game changer for everybody if you know how to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we found the topic for the second episode here. I think that's something we could dive very deep into.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you weren't doing what you're doing today, what would you be doing instead?
Any, like, outside of this, you mean?
Yeah.
So, bit of background, I suppose. I have grown up riding horses my whole life. I was a show jumper, amateur show jumper. I'm only 5'2", so I did want to be a model, but that's never going to happen. So, but no, I have a really big passion for horses, travel. I'd probably be an estate agent that would ride horses for a living, ultimately. I think that's pretty much where I love travel, I love horses, and within travel you can encompass the social aspects, the food, the wine, the cultures, like stuff like that. I absolutely love it. And I think that's why I like
Yeah.
traveling and go to events, because I love to meet new people. What
Yeah.
about you?
Oh, so I started off working in a pub. I think that the official term is kitchen porter, but I basically washed the dishes. That's where I started. Then you kind of move into front of house stuff and working behind the bar. I loved that. I loved that. I mean, 18, I was like, I want to own my own pub one day, and just, I think again that's where I get the buzz from customer experience, is that face to face element with customers. Now, years later, knowing what I know about building the brand identity, bringing in employees to that, using the right tools and techniques, I think I would be in hospitality. Let's say
Yeah,
running a
nice.
5-star hotel or something like that. Let's put myself on the map a little bit.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's where I'd be.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
So I think that's not a bad first episode, is it? I think we've set
No?
the tone. We've told people why we're here. I
Yeah.
certainly know a bit more about you, Danielle. I don't know about what you think.
Yeah, I didn't know you weren't a latte drinker, so yeah. I think ultimately we're here to cut through the noise and spark conversations that actually matter. I think that is the crux of why we're here today.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think for me, it's important to say this isn't one and done. So I probably now is the call to action: like, subscribe, share. This is the start of a movement. So if you can help start that journey for us and be on it from day one, that'd be amazing. So that's my call to action for you guys listening. Daniela, anything to wrap up for you?
No, I think, like I said, yeah, it's just about we're here to cut through that noise, give our support, bring people together, and yeah, give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Brilliant. I think the next episode is teed up to be around tech, so stay tuned for that.
Definitely.
Thank you everyone for joining us on this very first pilot, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
See you later.